Chris, what are you doing, Chris?
I'm taking your pulse. Now,
okay.
Look, we've had a few doctors on Great Day Washington, but our next guest is a doctor of success.
That's right. As we notice big changes in office environments and a post-recession workforce, Dr. Shirley Davis has some ideas on how we can adapt for long-term success. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Good morning.
Good morning. Now,
great day in Washington.
It is a great day, isn't it? Now, how has the workplace changed?
Oh gosh, it's changed quite a bit. It's become much more diverse and hyper-connected and multi-generational, and it's an aging workforce. Some of those shifts that we were just talking about during the break was that this is an aging population of baby boomers, and then the millennials are going to be coming in a few years, and they're going to be the largest segment of the working population.
Okay, so how do we prepare ourselves? Because I understand baby boomers, they're going to retire.
Yes.
And then there's this huge gap. What should we know about that gap so that we can be employed for the long term, right?
Yeah,
That's what
absolutely.
everybody wants.
Organizations aren't ready for it. So you got 80 million baby boomers that are going to be retiring, which really statistically, it's almost 10,000 a day.
Wow.
So organizations are going to have to really reshift and reinvent themselves in their strategies and their culture and the way that they train managers on how to lead the younger generation, and even how they build technology capability, because the younger generation, that's the way they communicate.
Well, they're going to need technology because from what I understand, the baby boomers, it's a gigantic amount of people. When that group leaves, there's a huge vacuum, and there's not enough millennials to fill that hole, is there?
Oh, it will be, absolutely. By
Really?
2025, almost 75% of the workforce is going to be the millennials.
Okay, so how do you train millennial bosses? Because there are some theories out there that millennials are the worst when it comes to managing, because they are always connected, they're always online.
Yeah.
But what do you do if you have a millennial boss, you have a family, you have a life outside of work, and they want you chained to your desk or your iPhone?
That's a shift, and that's actually one of the most common calls that I get. I travel around the world, and CEOs are really grappling with, how do I manage this multi-generational workforce? And that same thing happens. The biggest one is technology. The second one is communication. How do I get them to communicate? So I'm teaching them how you're going to have to shift and make some mutual adaptations. So the older generation is going to have to learn how to say things in 140 characters. They're going to have to learn how to get online, not to have long meetings all day and back to back to back, and learn how to do micro-mining is what I say, you know.
Micro-mining for information.
Right.
Absolutely,
Okay,
absolutely.
interesting.
That's what it's interesting. It's not hard to do, but there's just no interest. I mean, with the older people, it's like, I mean, Twitter, as you were probably talking about, it's not hard to do. It's 140 characters, but there's just not a lot of interest. And how do you get over that gap?
It's not interest from where? The baby boomers?
Yeah, the older ones like, I'm not going to do that.
I'm actually finding that more and more of them are interested. For example, my mom's 72 years old, and I said, Mom, if you want to get connected with your grandchildren and know where they are, you better get on Facebook. And she's done that. 72, she's learning how to do that. Dad is too. You can teach them.
Well, I think too, if there's a lot of people who I hear, my older colleagues, they say, oh, I don't take that social media seriously.
Yeah, you
but
better.
Shouldn't you be worried about being left behind and obsolete if you don't take it seriously?
Absolutely. That's the way we communicate now, and things go viral. Information is shared all the time, and not just the old way of face-to-face communication, although that's important. You better know by social media and being very, very connected. That's the society.
Last thing I want to know, what should young people in the workforce know that will help them for the long term? Because there's so much knowledge and information that veterans have, but you just kind of learn by doing and trial and error. Any jewels of advice?
Absolutely. I always talk about the 4 V's of career success, right? First of all, it's about having a vision, knowing what your skills are, knowing that you've got great talents and that you need to tap into all of them, but you also got to develop and invest in yourself. The second V is about visibility. So you got to connect with people, build relationships, because that's the way you broaden your network. That's the way you get jobs now. The third one is that you got to be vocal. State your value, is be able to speak up for yourself and be able to tell people when you see them who I am, what I do, and why should you care. And then the last one is value. Learn how to toot your own horn without blowing it. You got to state your value and speak up.
So you got to adapt. I love
Yes.
that. That's awesome, Doctor. Thank you so much. She's going to bend your ear out for the show. I know. She's so excited. Thanks for coming by.
Have a great day.
That wraps up today's show. We hope you had a fabulous Monday morning, and we're going to get ready for a great week coming up. We got Pink Floyd's Roger Waters this Wednesday. That's amazing.
Right, and we're always eager for Thursday Night Football here on WUSA 9. And this Thursday, we have football wife and reality star Kristen Cavallari. Make it a great day, Washington.
Yes. Now, how can you help me get higher?